Do you ever open your phone and feel like everybody is moving ahead except you? Someone you went to school with just bought a house. Someone younger than you is making more money than you. Someone else just got married. Someone else just started a business, landed their dream job, and they seem to have their entire life figured out except you. And you're looking at your own life wondering, why am I so behind? If that is how you feel right now, stay with me for a minute. Because by the end of this video, I want to show you something that completely changed the way I think about success, timing, and feeling behind. And there's a good chance that after hearing this, you realize you're not behind at all. And you know what is strange? Most people wake up not feeling like failures. They wake up feeling fine, then they start comparing themselves to others. Comparison is usually what creates the feeling of being behind. Think about it. A few minutes ago, you might have been very okay. Then you saw someone announcing promotion, or you saw someone posting vacation photos, or you saw someone celebrating a milestone, and suddenly your own progress started feeling invisible. The truth is, feeling behind isn't always about where you are. It's often about who you're looking at. And that is dangerous because you're comparing your entire reality to someone else's highlight. You're comparing your chapter 3 to someone's chapter 20 and then wondering why your story doesn't look the same. But let me tell you a story. Imagine there are two people. Both of these two people plant a seed the same day. The first seed breaks through the soil after a few weeks. Everyone sees it. Everyone celebrates it. It grows quickly. The second seed, nothing. Week passes, months, still nothing. People start questioning whether it's still alive or dead. Maybe the seed is broken. Maybe it failed. Maybe it wasn't meant to grow. But underground, something really important is happening. The roots are spreading deeper, stronger, building a foundation nobody can see. Then one day, it finally breaks through the surface. And when it grows faster and taller, more than anyone expected. Why? Because everyone was focused on the visible progress. It was building invisible strength. The reason I tell you this is because many people watching this video are in the root building phase. Me personally. And that is the hardest phase. Nobody applauds it. Nobody notices it. Nobody likes your posts for it. Nobody congratulates you for the sleepless nights you've spent building nothing, for the nights you spent building a skill, for the jobs you applied to, for the habits you're trying to build, for the battles you're fighting silently. But that invisible progress is still progress. And sometimes the most important growth is what happens when nobody sees it. Here is something psychologists have known for a long time. Humans are terrible at measuring progress in the short term. We focus on the gap between where we are and where we want to be. But we ignore the distance we have already traveled. You might be looking at a mountain that you still have to climb. Meanwhile, you've already come further than the version of you from 3 years ago could have imagined. Think about who you were then, the fears you had, the mistakes you made, the things you did not know. You survived things you thought once would break you. You learned lessons that only pain could teach. You became stronger in ways that don't show up on paycheck or social media profile. That matters more than you think. There is a story about a man called Colonel Sanders. Most of you know him as the founder of KFC. What most people don't know was that he was rejected over and over again. He did not become successful in his 20s or his 30s or his 40s or his 50s. He was in his 60s when things finally started working. Imagine if he had looked around at a younger age and said it was too late for him. Imagine if he believed that lie, that success has an expiry date. The world would never know his name. And there are thousands of stories just like that. People who found success later. People who changed careers later. People who found love later. People who discovered their purpose later. Life isn't a race. It's a journey with very different starting points, different roads and different timelines. But I think the reason you feel behind is not because of money, success, or status. I think that it's because you're scared. You are scared that time is running out. You're scared that you've wasted so much of your life. You are scared that someone else knows something that you don't. You are scared that maybe you'll never catch up. And if that is what you're feeling, I want to tell you something. The fact that you're worried about your future is already proof that you care about it. People who have completely given up don't ask themselves if they are behind. They stop trying. The very discomfort you're feeling now is evidence that there is something inside you that wants more, something that refuses to quit, something that still believes your story isn't finished. And that's very powerful. So what if instead of asking, why am I behind, you asked, what am I building? What if this season isn't punishment? What if it's preparation? What if the delays are teaching you patience? What if the failures are teaching you resilience? What if the confusion is teaching you clarity? What if this chapter is creating the person you'll need to become for the next one? Because sometimes life isn't saying no. Sometimes life is simply saying not yet. And those two things are very different. I want you to imagine meeting yourself 5 years from now. The future version of you that kept going. The one who didn't quit. The one who didn't let comparison steal their confidence. The one who took one step. Do you think that version of you would want you spending a day feeling defeated because your timeline does not match someone else's timeline? Or would they tell you to keep moving, to trust the process, to focus on your path instead of everyone else's? I think you already know the answer. So if you're watching this and you feel behind, listen carefully. You are not behind in life. You are simply on a path that hasn't revealed its destiny yet. And it's okay, because some people bloom at 20, some bloom at 30, some bloom at 40, some bloom at 50, some at 70. The flower that blooms later is not a failure. It's just following its own season. And maybe that is exactly what you're doing right now. Maybe while you're worrying that nothing is happening, you're growing roots. Maybe while you're questioning your progress, you're becoming stronger. Maybe while you're comparing yourself to someone else, life is quietly preparing you for something bigger you can barely see. So I want you to take a breath and stop comparing yourself to someone else. Stop measuring your life against someone else's life, against someone else's timeline. And remember this, the fact that you're still here means your story is being written. And some of the best chapters haven't happened yet. If nobody has told you this recently, I'm proud of you for continuing. Keep going. Your time is coming.